Hi, stuck in toxic thinking? Did you know people stuck in toxic thinking trigger their brain's fight or flight stress response? They also cause wear and tear on their immune system, which means they're sick more often, which is a bummer. It also causes chronic fatigue. That's because it distorts reality, it drains our energy, and fuels anxiety, depression, and social isolation. None of those sound very much fun to me. So, we're going to do a little bit of self awareness. That means knowing exactly what you're feeling and why. People often can tell you what they're feeling. It's the why part that they get a little stuck on. What can tapering toxic thoughts do? First of all, let's talk about toxic thoughts. They're bi-directional. They get us in a bad mood, and then because we're in a bad mood, we have toxic thoughts. That's not okay. Focus on becoming aware of your thoughts. Slow down. Think about it. We call that metacognition, thinking about your thoughts. Today, we'll look at the effects of toxic thoughts. First, let's look at the benefits of tapering, getting rid of those toxic thoughts, unless you really like them. I don't know. Some of the benefits of getting rid of toxic thoughts can help you improve your sleep patterns, intervene between racing negative thoughts, sometimes we get those, enhance interpersonal relationships, help handle stress, help with depression and anxiety. We just talked about that, and improve focus. We'll probably talk about that again. Here is a quote. Here is a quote. A great many people think they are thinking when they are merely rearranging their prejudices. And that was by William James. And I have a Bible verse for you. Whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Philippians 4:8. So, how do we create toxic thoughts? So, every time we build a memory, anything new, we have a corresponding chemical reaction, right? So, when something negative happens, it builds a chemical reaction as well. And this is the beginning of a toxic thought. So, think about thoughts this way. As we think, we are designing the landscape of our mind. So, positive thoughts create beautiful scenery with sunset and the ocean in the background in our minds. Negative thoughts or toxic thoughts create more of a landfill landscape with all the trash heaped in it. The effects of toxic thoughts include heart palpitations, irritable bowel syndrome or disease. We hear so much about that now. Headaches, heart problems, migraines, hypertension, stroke, cancer, skin problems, diabetes, infections, allergies. That's a lot. And a lot of this comes from Dr. Caroline Leaves, who switched off my brain. Here are some warning signs that you may be stuck in toxic thoughts. Okay? Poor memory, poor judgment or impulsivity. Wait, does that count for brownies? Short attention span or distractibility, depression, we already talked about that, weight issues, low energy, chronic insomnia or sleep apnea. We talked about that as well. So, really quickly, we've already talked about some good things, some bad things. I'm going to give you just a daily practice to think about. It's pretty simple. So, 3 times a day, starting today, think about your thoughts. Are they positive or negative? Did they come from an emotion or are they causing an emotional state? Remember that bidirectionality? Try not to judge them. We're not being judgy, we're just noticing. The second thing to do, so the first thing is think about your thoughts. The second thing is to change your words. So negative words hurt us and others. Speak kindly to ourselves and those around us. That is going to help our thinking. That's what we're surrounding ourselves with today, okay? And then the third thing is really embrace that gratitude. Gratitude changes everything, even mostly attitude. So here's some questions to ask yourself. What will happen if I continue to sit in these toxic thoughts. Here's another question. What could change if I practice changing thoughts, words, and embracing gratitude from toxic to something more productive? So, some final encouragement for you. Toxic thoughts are toxic. They can be changed with focus and persistence. You can do this if you want, right? I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it takes time, effort, and energy. But you've got this. Build the best skill and become the best you. In the meantime, don't forget to be amazing. That's all I have.